1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. And so yeah, you see the title of the video, Dubs promises to review my board transcripts. And so for the individuals out there, man, that say I'm obsessed with this rat, they say that I spend too much time on the clown. These are some of the reasons why, man. So you guys don't see when this dude goes live, when he's drunk late at night, when he's thinking about his pathetic life, when he's tired of spending money on Uber Foods and DoorDash because he doesn't dare step foot past that doormat knowing that somebody might smack him real quick or whatever. You know, he's nervous, he's upset about that. All his YouTube money is being dwindled on the fact that he turned rata and now he's scared to leave the house. He gets upset. He's mad at himself. He hates the world. And so he likes to shoot sometimes these subliminals and sometimes these direct insults or whatever, right? And so, yeah, you see, he's now saying he's going to review my board transcripts, right? So literally about 15, 20 minutes ago, I finished doing what I'm doing, running around for the day. I turn on the computer and I see that I get a notification that somebody else has mentioned me in a video in relation to what Dubs is talking about. And so for those of you guys who have not seen it, let me show you the video.
Paperwork is not on the way, Sebastian. Paperwork has landed. Fernando's board hearing and Chill's board hearing is next. But Chill, he did a rap song. Let's see, tough guy. I want to see your board report so bad. Chills hasn't landed yet. It's on the way. He's an off-brand crip. He ain't from LA. This vato grew up around nothing but white people and Mexicans. He wants to talk shit. He wants to do a rap song. Hey, his board report.
Oh, the rap song hurt his feelings, huh?
Now, as I seen that video, man, I'm thinking that this dude does not stop. This here is incredulous, right? First and foremost, the dude says that I'm an off-brand crip, that I didn't grow up in LA. Once again, man, that I grew up around whites and Mexicans. Once again, man, this dude tries to down and clown individuals with things that compare and pertain to him as well, right? So if I'm an off-brand crip, then you're an off-brand rata because you didn't grow up in LA either. I mean, this dude is just really, man, this dude is really ridiculous, man. At this point in time, Dubs, you need to let it go, Dubs. Dubs, you are from Santa Barbara, Dubs. You're not from LA either. So, I mean, what does that make you? And then whatever it makes me, at least I came home the same way I entered. You went to prison. You stayed in prison, 8, 9 years? In 2005, you had to leave and go to the SNY yard, Dubs. There you was in the choir with the O's. We already know you was hanging out with the O's. The homos, the pedos, and the chomos. You laying in the bed, you making spreads, you reading Bible verses, you doing all this type of stuff with these individuals, Dubs. Dubs loves to say that, hey, you know what? They would have never put me up for CMC, but they put you up for an SNY yard, and you went voluntarily. You debriefed voluntarily. Now, this dude is crazy, right? So now this dude is talking about he's going to review my board transcripts. Well, when you do, I promise you, you are going to be so disappointed, man. So let me once again break it down for you guys, and let's get this stuff here correct. I got locked up for a shooting at a party, 3 attempted murders in which 3 individuals were shot at a party. Then I go on the run. About a year later, I'm charged for the unaliving of an individual who was a witness in those 3 attempted murders And also, he was a victim. He was the individual that the DA said that I was attempting to kill. And he's the one who I actually got life for. And so at a later date, like I said, once again, unfortunately, I'm charged with his unaliving as well. At some point in time, I'm arrested. I'm charged with those crimes. I'm charged with the initial shooting at the party. Maybe about 4 or 5 months later, true to the DA's word, he charges me also with unaliving a witness. In both those crimes, I don't have no crimees. I'm the only one that got arrested. I'm the only one that ever went to prison and did any time on both of those crimes, right? So in the first case, I went to trial, never got on the stand. The second case, after I got convicted on the first case and I already had 9 years plus life, they dropped it down to a voluntary manslaughter and gave me 16 years. And so that's how I ended up going to the pen. Once again, let me reiterate, in both of those cases, I had no crimees. Nobody else was arrested but me. I never got on the stand. I never made any statements, right? So you go ahead and read through my transcripts. This dude is going to be very, very disappointed. I'm not lying about pagadas that I did. Any type of story you hear me tell on YouTube, you will not find that it is contradicted in my board hearings. I have not told any lies. I've not grabbed anybody by the ankles on any pagadas or any missions or anything like that, right? And this is what's crazy to me, right? This dude is just hurt by the truth. We all see that when he first came on YouTube, right? He was extremely humble. Then later on, at some point, he started to get a little bit more comfortable telling stories, and he was also caught in several lies, talking about that he went to the hole, he put in some work in the hole, then he put in some more work in the hole, and then he put in more work in the hole. None of that pops up in his board transcripts. If you're in the hole and you're doing these missions, this and that, you're going to get a write-up. That is definitely going to be listed in your board hearing, because at your board hearing, they review your entire conduct in prison. None of those things that he's talking about came up in his board hearings, right? So, man, just live with it, Dubs. You PC'd up, you debriefed, you ratted, you told on everybody, you done everything that you was not supposed to do. And honestly, like I've said many times before, right? If I ever had a snitched, if I ever had a PC'd, went SNY, me personally, I just wouldn't have came on YouTube. The shame would have been something that would have been eating me up, right? And we see that it is with Dubs, because if you wasn't so ashamed of what you done, it wouldn't have took all this type of stuff to have to bring it up out of you, Dubs. We know that you are ashamed of what you was, but you'll sit back, you'll call other individuals rats, you'll call other individuals PCs, because basically what you're doing is you're projecting your image onto others. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine, man, the arrogance this dude would have had if he had have stayed on the main line and paroled in good standings? This dude would have been so arrogant. He would have been so critical of everybody else. Imagine this dude, man. Imagine this dude to use the argument that you didn't grow up in LA to ridicule somebody else when this dude grew up in Santa Barbara, man. I mean, come on. This dude is from Santa Barbara, right? So, and no disrespect to anybody from Santa Barbara, right? But Santa Barbara is not from LA either. So, I mean, for you to try to ridicule me with an argument like that, once again, man, it just makes no sense. But at the end of the day, the dude, like I said, man, he's heartbroken and hurting, scared to open up his curtain. That's why every time he makes videos, the curtains and blinds are drawn down. He's in there making these videos because he's upset with himself, right? Now, back in the days, at a time when you were still passing yourself off as an individual in good standings, I happened to see a short video of you boxing, hitting on the bag. I called you up. I said, "Hey, Dubs, let's do celebrity boxing, man. Let's set this stuff up. Me and you get in the ring, box. Let's get some bread." You guys know what he told me? "Oh, I can't, man. My people. I can't do it, man. My people won't let me do it." Now that's crazy, man. You know your people don't give one damn about you. And that's the difference between me and you, right? At least I came home from prison the same way that I entered. I didn't come home with my title change. I didn't come home with smut on my jacket. I didn't come home being unable to go home. Dubs loves to say that he lives in his backyard and so on and so forth. Living a few miles or 15, 20, 30 miles from where you grew up is a big difference with being able to go home, going back to your hood, going back to the area and hang out with the fellas. Let me see you do that, Dubs. So that's the challenge, right? I issue you a challenge. I issue you a challenge called the Back in the Hood Challenge. Let me see you go back to your hood. Let me see you go back to your hood and shoot a video with homeboys who you grew up with. Let me see you hang out there in your hood, man, for about an hour. Let me see you making an announcement saying when you gonna be in your hood and go there and hang out. Let me see you do that, because I definitely can do it. I've already been back, shot several videos, go back every summer when we having picnics. I'm back in the hood 2-3 times a week. All the time, man. But anyway, when you get around to reviewing my board transcripts, you're going to be extremely disappointed. You already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.